fellow campers, van lifers, and so on. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. I think I had a bear on the roof of my van. I know, that's what this video is going to be about. I have since, in my previous video of 3 different van ladders that I've had, gave my opinion of which ladder I actually prefer. And I think it's actually been tested and approved for both a bear and or a very large raccoon to climb all the way up it. And certainly my Aluminess roof rack has also been designed to support at least the weight of that animal. And this has happened now twice in 2 different locations, all within about a week. So I'm wondering if any of you else have had, larger animals climbing up onto the roof of your van. If so, please let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious. There's a little bit of a informal survey here. So let's get into it. So right here, I am standing in front of a mountain bluebird here, and I'm going to go through what's kind of got what's happened, these tracks and stuff, and you guys give me your thoughts. I'll tell you the quick little story is that a few days ago, I ended up camping out at some friend's house. They have a pretty large property, and this is up in the mountains around Lake Tahoe where I live, and I'm camping over at their house after we had a picnic outside, and slept perfectly fine, didn't wake up or anything in the night. Next morning though, and just that day, by the way, I was home before I went to their house, and I'd washed my van, and so I have a pressure washer at home. I washed the whole thing down, cleaned it up, and wiped it down, so I knew everything was clean, right? And then go to their house, have this outdoor picnic, camp out in the van that night. And this is one of the benefits of van life, by the way. You can do that kind of stuff. You can just stay over at your friend's house without staying in your friend's house, intruding on their space, and have your comfortable space, food, clothes to change into, all that stuff. It's really convenient. But anyways, back to the story here. Wake up in the morning, and there's all these muddy tracks up and down the roof rack, and there's all these tracks that were going up and down the rear ladder. And I happen to have to go up on the roof rack for some reason, and I'm up on the roof rack, and I'm noticing all these little muddy tracks all around. And so I get out my track book, and they look either like they're going to be a large raccoon or a small black bear. And black bears are commonly go through these people's yard. They have a mama with 3 cubs that come through quite regularly, and they actually get on top of their cars. So I was thinking, okay, it could have been a small bear, but the tracks are some tracks are small, so it's a little bit inclusive. So anyways, let me get to the point. And then it happened again last night. So let me kind of point out the evidence here, and I'll tell you also what happened last night. So over here, first of all, this is a small little muddy print. I don't know how well this turns up. But that's a pretty small one, and so that's probably too small to be even a small bear. You put it in perspective, there's my hand. And then here on the ladder rack, you can see all these muddy paw prints coming up, and that's definitely raccoon-like. And you can even see down here in the bumper, and some of these have been rubbed off since, because I've walked up this ladder rack multiple times since. You can see right here, little muddy prints, a bunch of them here, a bunch of them there. Whatever it was that went up here, there were some really clear evident muddy prints here, but they've now since been more or less wiped off. And same on the back here, but they've also been kind of more or less wiped off. You can kind of see the remnants of them here, and that's because I've gone in and out of the van. There was a really clear one right here. You can see the remnants of it. And that's because I've gone in and out of the van multiple times, and up and down this roof rack ladder multiple times since these tracks got placed there. But interesting enough, last night, and I'm going to go up on the roof rack in a moment, I'll show you those tracks up there, but interesting enough, last night, I stayed at my friend's house, a different friend's house, also in the Tahoe region. And so I stayed in the guest room last night. It was lovely. Right as I got into bed, a security light on the side of the motion detector light on the side of the house went off, and I figured, okay, it's got to be a bear walking through. Bears come through this area all the time. I mean, look at this beautiful landscape. Is this just gorgeous or what? I mean, this is absolute heaven, for both humans and animals, right? And so, security light goes off. I was going to get a look out the window. I thought, it's probably a bear, big deal. I'm not going to disturb. I don't want to disturb it, if I look out the window and it sees me. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to stay in bed. And then a couple minutes later, the van alarm went off. The van alarm never goes off unless I turn it on and and I or a dog is inside and it triggers the motion detector without me remembering to turn that off. And so it had to be bumped pretty good. And so before we go up on the roof rack here, I'm pretty sure a bear came through, set off that motion detector light, and also it must have pushed on the van. I don't see any indication of anything, but you can see here probably, if you can see it, I mean, a pretty good, there's the old print, one of the old prints here from a week ago or a few days ago, and then this is all new print. And there was a little bit of a visible print like up in here, but it's hard to see. So anyways, I think and by the way, this is not a kibble box for food. There's no food in here. This is recovery gear that's inside of here. I'm going to go over that little mod a little bit later. So let's go up on the roof rack here and let's take a look. And you can see as I'm going up here, I'm going to try not to disturb some of these tracks. But every time I go up here, I do, and of course, end up disturbing some. There's even a nice one right there on the tire. And when we come up on the roof rack, you can see here some of the remnants of this. And these are now, like I said, many, many days old. There's a good one. There's a good one. Here's a whole bunch. There's some others. Over there is quite another nice looking one. Let's go over there. See if I can get up here without falling while holding the ladder at the same time. I mean, holding there. So you can see this track. That is a very clear track. This one here. There's these here. Even over here. Oh, look at that. They even go across the solar panel. Now, it's possible that they were up here. I guess we can say that the solar panel has been tested for what looks like, it almost looks like it's got to be raccoon. That's pretty small. But you can tell me your opinion. Tell me what you think. That one's pretty, it's too small to be a bear. But this has happened twice now. So in two different areas over about a week, or within a week. And I'm sure it's not the same animal, but it appears to be, in both cases, either probably last night probably was a bear just shaking the van and waking up, and probably these other tracks were just all up here from the previous time this animal came up here and walked around. So we can say that the Aluminess roof rack that I'm now standing on, what I call my roof patio and roof deck, is definitely can support my weight as I'm standing up here, and at least the weight of a raccoon as well. I know it can support at least two people. We'll say there's your prints. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know what you think as far as what kind of prints those may be, and are you surprised that animal could walk up the owl rear ladder and get up on the roof rack? I am. So let me know your thoughts on that. All right.
And it turns out that's not the only animal that has joined me on my van in the past. This marmot here actually caught a ride on the Van Compass skid plate underneath my van over 2 hours from Tuolumne Meadows in Yosemite, upper Yosemite, up about 10,000 feet, all the way back to my house. And I only heard some noises as I was unloading the van back in my garage when I got home, and took a look under there and snapped this picture of this nice marmot that had joined me for that drive all the way home. It was probably quite frightened. It was a little bit of an experience to get it out of that space carefully without harming it, and so they could go join the other marmots in my neighborhood. Which it did. So clearly the Van Compass skid plate is designed to handle a marmot. The owl rear ladder in tire carrier is designed to handle a raccoon, and the Van Compass rear step is designed to handle a bear stepping on it. So how many animals do you have join you on your van?
Cheers. Get out there and camp.